ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the video. Today, as you can probably already tell by the bolts protruding from the top and the orange piece being folded down, we're going to be doing a little bit of a disassembly on the F18. Not a whole teardown, but I will be replacing the display module up here as well as the mounts for the motor and the suspension down here. So first things we want to do is obviously pull these grommets out here. There's 5 of them, one up front and then some here and here that go up there. And then take all the bolts out. I believe these ones here are 5/32 work hex, and then up top would be a number 5, I believe. Sorry. Yeah, up top's a number 5. And then the black screw on the bottom down here, or bolt on the bottom down here, is also a number 5. And this silver one is a number 6. For the phase wire covers on the F18, there's going to be 2 nuts here on the batch 1s. The batch 2s have been improved for this cover. And for the sake of this video, I've also gotten, obviously, these bolts loosened and those already off. But you want to go ahead and get those out of there. There's going to be 2 more bolts under here once you fold this top piece back. Be very careful with this, as it can bind on the handle and it might flex and snap. So be very careful with that. And it also does sometimes tend to move the handle, sometimes it doesn't, so just be mindful of that right there. But yeah, I'll go ahead and get all these bolts off of there and get this front handle off here and the front bumper. And that is just 3 bolts on each side. So to get the front bumper off, it's these 2 and these, and then same thing on the other side here that you can't see. And then that's it for the bumper. You got these 2 that go back here. And then there's 2 more here and 1 up in the middle here for the top cover. So you can see those would be underneath here, and then those come out with these up here, and then there's 2 up here and 1 in there. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get this bumper off and disconnect the lights, and then I'll get back. I have no clue what size this is, so you guys will have to find out on your own if you're working on your F18. It's pretty tiny, but there's 4 little screws for the trolley handle up here that you need to undo. And these I'll do on camera just because, you know, they're tiny, they're quick and easy. But I don't have any electric tools to make my life easier. So yeah, I'll be doing this all with hand tools. So I guess we'll see how quick it is to do everything here. I mean, I already know it's actually pretty quick and easy to get this top piece off here. I mean, tilt it forward like that, reach in behind here, and you can do a lovely little pull. Another one, and another one. All the front lights are disconnected for when I swap out the module. And here's your front handle. I'm gonna give this a little bit of a wipe down in here. It's not insanely dirty. You can see put a couple scratches on it already. And of course, both times I fell and put scratches on it was on ice. Go figure, I found a random black ice, but whatever. Anyways, these motor bolts are loose, so I can just do this. I could have sworn they were loose, I swear. There. Cool. Don't worry, I'm not taking it out just yet. I'm making sure it's loose. Come on. This top piece here can be a little bit of a pain at times. I found, I don't know why I didn't do this earlier, if you tip it upright and you just back this off a little, because we're going to need that off in a second anyways, and then you get underneath the back edges here, either with your fingernails or something else if you have to. It makes it pretty easy to just pull up. Now, this right here is what I really like about the F18 and how King Song did it. Come on. There. Is those battery wires. So, the battery wires from here go back to here, and then these battery wires also go up to here and back into here. So you only have to unplug it from here or here to fully disconnect the batteries. Now, last time I did it from here, and I'm probably going to do that again, just because that's what I did last time. For getting the display module out of here, there's going to be 4 bolts, 1 in each corner, that you're going to take out, and those, I don't know if they are a slippery floor, are number 5 or not. I think, no, they're not. They're definitely smaller as well. I don't know what size they are, because I think I just use either this or this bit here. Yeah, I use this bit right here. Yeah, cool. So yeah, I use that bit. But we are going to play a game of disconnect these batteries. Now, here's the thing. I like the way these are done over Leaper Kim's 4-plug batteries, because that's just annoying. Leaper Kim's plugs are insanely hard to pull apart, and especially on the patent. I actually have cut myself right here a couple of times pulling the plugs apart and then bashing my knuckle on the little metal rods inside the patent's trolley handles. It's a nightmare. But this is amazing. Battery's disconnected. I can work on this now. I'm going to loosen this all and then grab a handy dandy magnet. Just to make sure I don't drop anything. And I know down here, oh God. This is, that thermal paste can definitely hold on for dear life when it wants to. I know I'm not reusing this thermal paste because I've already had this off once and I'm gonna have it off again, so I might as well clean it off and put some brand new thermal paste on there. Even though this isn't that old, I could reuse this thermal paste probably, but for the sake of doing a proper repair, I'm not going to. That took a lot more force than I wanted to use. But yeah, like, don't touch that stuff. It's hard to get off your hands if you haven't dealt with thermal paste before. That stuff loves to stain your fingers, so try not to touch it as best as you can. With that being said, I'm gonna clean all this up, and I will see you guys in a bit. Alright, so I got that nice and cleaned up in there, and I got the thermal paste that I'm going to be using here. It's just some random thermal paste off of Amazon. Here's the new display module that needs to go in. This is the back side, this is the front side. I can't use this connector. But here's actually a good time to show the difference between batch 1 and I believe batch 2, 3, and all the rest of them. So, here's your batch 1 on the right, and here's your batch 2 and newer. So, this lovely cord here, I believe, is like a 5-volt cord for a USB-C port that is on the front of the F18. Because mine is a batch 1, I do not have that port, so I will be hiding this cord and taping it off. That being said, let's get the thermal paste on here and get it in the machine. Now, there's no real special way to apply thermal paste. Everybody does it differently. Like in the computer world especially, it's just X and stuff like that. I'm gonna go until I see that I think it's enough. I'm just gonna go in a square. This is probably quite a bit, but the more the better. I mean, there was quite a bit on there to begin with. So, yeah, I'm going to spread this around and give it a go. Got it spread on there decently. Now let's see how it goes in, and we will see if that's enough paste or not. Closing on in there. Alright. We're going to take my handy dandy screwdriver one side at a time here. And I'm going to tighten the bottom down first. I'm kind of trying to tighten the bottom evenly. And then move my way to the top. So that, because there's more paste down here, I can squish it that way. And not have to worry about how it spread. There, we push that into the hill. There. Then we can tighten this side. And back up. Here, tighten this. Back up. Tighten this. This just a little bit more. This just a little bit more. I'm gonna do this twice more. Oh, yeah, that's done. Never mind. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. And yeah, obviously one more. I don't need to check for coverage. I see squishage up there and I see squishage down there. That's good. Oh, and some squishage out there. Cool, thermal paste is good. So, changing this display module on the F18, you need, I'd say you could get away with 5 grams of thermal paste. 4 might be pushing the limits of how much you can get away with on this, but if you order 6 grams, just squeeze it on there and spread it out a little bit, put it on, you're good to go. Now, this is going to be the fun part here because I have, let's get this cover off of here now since we got to do the motor soon. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, thank you. All right, so got the grommet switched over to this. And then I got the wires ran, the module plugged in for now. And now it's time to pull the motor. So I'm going to take these phase wires off, unplug the Hall sensor, and I'll get back to it. I'll get back to you guys when that's done. Alright, so disconnecting this was pretty easy. There's a little grommet underneath the phase wires. Pick the wheel up so you can see. But there's a little grommet right here. This little grommet hides the Hall sensor wire, and this gets pushed in even farther so it's not disrupting the grommet, and connects to this, which just hides underneath the phase wires. But yeah, as far as the wires aspect of that goes, that's it. Now if we around to this side here, using there. And now we move on to this side, pull that Y-pull out of there, and same with this. And if I'm correct, we should be able to just walk it on out of here very slowly. Should. Living in the Rust Belt doesn't always make things pan out how they should. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, so we got the last bolt out of the motor for these mounts. Now, I do want to show you the difference in the mounts. So, here's a batch 1 mount. You can see it's pretty thin. It feels really light. And this little piece that butts up against the suspension is also very thin. But if we go over to this piece feels much better. It's obviously a little bit thicker, and you can see there's CNC machining marks on here, which is great to see that it's not a cast piece. This piece overall seems really solid. You can see obviously this piece here is highly extended compared to the one from the factory there. You can see. If I can stop blocking it. There. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get this new mount installed, some Loctite, and you're gonna notice that this is gonna be the only tool I use that looks like this. The only time I use this tool on this motor. That's because one of the bolts was seized. This one, to be exact, was seized. And so I had to hammer in a bigger bit to get it out because the correct bit just ended up chewing out the head of this bolt. So I gave it a new pattern. And now it is not going to have that issue ever again. But, you know, with that out of the way, you want to take this, put this little flap at the bottom here, slide that underneath your little wire guide there. Try not to drip Loctite all over the floor. That's kind of why I'm on my working mat though, so I don't have to worry about getting Loctite on the floor. And just thread these back in here. Now with the F18, the motor bolts are actually switched around. You have your flat on one part, and then across from your flat, so here would be your big bolt, and then here would be another flat. Here would be a big bolt. I'm gonna check and make sure that's alternating from the other side. And it is. Cool. I just had to make sure that it was alternating. Voila, that's the new motor mounts installed on both sides. This side I did last night because I couldn't get the other side off fully last night due to needing to hammer in a bigger bit up there. So I waited until now to get that done. I've got to put these 3 on each side in for the mud guard up here, and then everything can go back in the wheel, and yeah. I will get back to you guys as soon as I'm putting this back in. Alrighty, I don't quite know how this is gonna go. I finished wiping down the wheel for the most part. Not gonna worry about the wire guides and stuff and the mud guard because this is just gonna get dirty up in here again, and I'm not gonna be able to wipe it once the wheel's back together. You're not even gonna be able to see that anyways, so wipe the motor down, wipe the tire up here, and call it a day. Now, I haven't really planned this part through, so we're gonna see how this goes, because what I have originally intended to do is just kind of hold this here if possible somehow, and try and pick the F18 up and put it on its motor. Easier said than done, I'm assuming. So, come on. I can see. So, yes, yes. Wait. See, camera. That's coming. Let's make it over. So, wait. Come. Like I said. Back down she goes. Rolling back up this way. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. She's done. Light 1, light 2. Hey, we got lights. Everything's working. Let's go. Got everything working now. So beforehand, that light down there wasn't working. Now it is. As bright. See? All working now. I'm gonna go out and take this thing for a little ride. And yeah, that's gonna be it for the video here.